What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we're going to be going over the charts. We're going to take a look at the Dow, the DXY, Bitcoin, Tesla, BNB, the Binance chart, also gold and silver. Definitely stick around for the whole video. We got a lot to cover here. We are at our resistance for the Dow Jones right now. Will we break that? And if so, where will the next level be? And as for Bitcoin, will this pump continue? Will we break our invalidation point for the Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart? We're going to talk about that. Definitely stick around for the whole video. Make sure you smash those thumbs up. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure your notification bells are ticked when I post new videos, and make sure you share the video. All right, let's take a look at this triangle here that we broke down from, right? We have our targets. Our first target was this 32.2, right? We broke down. That should be our resistance. Now, if we're able to break above that, our next resistance is going to be right here. We'll put it price on that. It's about 32,666. So if we do break the 32.2, look for 32,666, and that could be another pump for Bitcoin or a continuation, but we could be coming at the end of the pump, and I'll show you why. So far we're getting rejected here. If we come back down to retest this 31,620 and that breaks, you guys know I'm very bearish. We could be seeing a major dump in all markets, across all markets, and I'll explain that here in a little bit. I know everyone's getting really bullish right now, but that's how markets work, right? You get exit liquidity pumps, people get all hyped up, get back into the markets, and we got all the stuff with the banks and everything else going on. But guys, remember, if you follow the charts, everything is in the charts if looked at correctly, right? Let's take a look at what's going on. So right now we're testing this 31.2. Remember, if this breaks, we get to 32,666. But either way, I don't think we'll break this 32,666. Now, if I'm wrong and we come up to break this top trend line in the coming week or weeks, and that's going to be around 34,100 range. If we break that, then we may be having this melt up that everybody's talking about. I highly doubt it, but it's always a possibility, right? So if we do break that, we could have a melt up and the bottom could be in for everything. But right now, I just don't see it. Also, we can take our measured move here. That gets us down to 30,221. Let's take a look at the DXY. DXY, we broke out of our channel here. Where is the target for the channel for a bounce? It'd be right here about, let me put a price label on there. Right here, about 102.65. That would be the measured move. It doesn't mean it has to get down there, but if it does, that's where I'd expect to bounce. And if that happens, I'd expect the DXY to break this 32.2 and get up to this 32,666, right? Now, let's take some more measurements here. Let's take our Fibonacci retracement tool, go from the bottom here, right over here, to the top, and see what that tells us. That shows us that 102.65 is the 102.65, right? That is exactly where we had our target. Lines up with the point, or 1.618, which is the golden pocket zone. We also have 103.58 at the 0.5. So if we don't get a bounce here, this is where I expect the bounce. That will be a higher low. I do expect a huge bounce there. And let's kind of do an Elliott wave on this and see where it might lead. If we take our trend-based fib extension, we bring it up to start from the bottom, go up to the top here, bring it down to that golden pocket zone, right? If that being wave 2. If that was to happen, it would look something like this. So this would be a big wave 1. And then we'd be looking for a wave 3. This would be our 2 if it does go that low. Remember, it doesn't have to. Our wave 3 would get us all the way up to the 1.618 at around 110. And then we would probably get a correction here and then continue on up to our next target around that 114 again. As you guys know, I'm very bullish on the DXY. I think this thing is going to rip in the next few months. I definitely see much more upside. All right, let's take a look at the Dow Jones. Now this on the left is the Dow Jones from 1929, the Great Depression, or I'm sorry, on the right And you can see what happened here. Could we see the same thing here? It's not a guarantee, but it is a good possibility. We've been talking about this for a long time. The market structure lines up. We had this big dip here. As you can see, we had it here and never made a new all-time high. But this is where the you know what happened, and all kinds of money got printed, free money and everything. So it did overextend. I still think this is going to correct way back down. I think this could be very, very, very scary for the markets, but a great opportunity for those that are patient, right? Of course, unless we break our highs up here, then it may last longer. We may get another rally before coming down, but either way, I see this as a needed structure to complete like this, to kind of reset the markets, get everything back into reality, right? So let's take a look at our monthly chart. Our monthly chart, we are above this. Remember, if we close a monthly above 23,327, then that invalidates this hidden bearish divergence, but we are only in the middle of the month, so we can get a wick up into these ranges and come down. Something else we looked at last month was this reversal candle right here, this doji. Could be a indecision, right, and break up here. But if we don't break this high up here at 25,275, most likely we're going to continue back down right here. But if we do break this high at the 25,310, we could be seeing more upside. But remember, we could get a wick there. But if we close below this 23,327, that's a continuation to the downside, hidden bearish divergence. Now on the weekly here. So on the weekly, we had our hidden bearish divergence right here, right? Our invalidation point has always been the 55 EMA. Now, that 55 EMA right now is around 25.2, somewhere in that range, but I still keep 25.8 as my level. I need to see a weekly open and close above that. Now, a lot of people will say, well, if that's the case and you miss the bottom, then you're losing out. No, the people that are losing out have lost a lot of money on the way down, right? Wait for a macro reversal. If this opens and closes a weekly above this 55 EMA, you're getting in way down here while everybody else was dollar cost averaging all the way up here, right? So you didn't miss out. You didn't lose money. These people have less dollar value than if you get in right here. You have more dollar value still because you didn't lose any dollar value. You get back in, you're doing way better, right? So I always wait for a macro reversal to really get into the markets. And so far, we have not had that. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT, by far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you. There's also a free contest section. You can hit the contest right here. No risk. You can learn how to use the platform by using free funds. And if you win the contest, you actually get tradable funds that you can win and keep the profits from trading. So definitely check them out. You can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus to use towards your margins. SAVVY25. Get you 25% off your fees. Link is down below. They do help sponsor the channel. So if you are trading, definitely check them out. Don't jump on there and throw all your money in there and get crazy with leverage and stuff, right? All right, let's take a look at the daily. So on the daily, we're back on the upside of this falling channel that we had, right? And we had talked about right here's that 25.8. If we open and close a weekly above that, then the target was 31.5. But we're going to take a look at some other things here. Could this be an inverse head and shoulders? And what would the target be if that's the case? We'll talk about that in a second. You can also see on the RSI here, the RSI is resetting nicely. Looks like more downside. Now, to the high upside for a wick would be around the 27.2 range, 27 maybe. Retest the top of this rising broadening wedge that we did break back inside. But either way, I still think this is just a massive fake out. Just be careful. Again, if we open and close a weekly above this 25.8, then my opinion changes. Check out my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. Links down below. And let's look at the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, as you can see, we got back up into this range, getting rejected right now. Now we can move this up if we were to come up and retest the top of this rising broadening wedge, right? With all the stuff going on, you know, you're going to hear everybody's rushing to Bitcoin because it's safe. But remember, Bitcoin follows the traditional markets. Its movement is definitely determined by what the markets are doing, right? And as of right now, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Binance and what they're doing, but go check that out if you would. pretty crazy stuff going on there. So I don't think this pump is going to last. You can see every time we get huge pumps like this, they turn around to make lower lows. I still have a target down here of 18 unless we break this high up here. But otherwise, we're just making lower highs to come back, reverse back down, right? You can also see if we go from here, let's do this real quick. Don't forget, guys, smash those likes. So if we go from this high, which is actually right here, we're making higher highs in the RSI, lower highs in the price action, right? Depending on where this closes. Obviously, it hasn't closed yet. But guys, I just don't think this is a real pump. Anytime it pumps like this is just exit liquidity, right? It just comes back down to make lower lows right here. Anytime it makes these big spikes, it just eats it up quickly, right? Look at this one here, and you can see what happened after. The RSI has reset nicely on the 4 hour. Could go a little bit higher, not saying it can't, but either way, there is a reversal coming here. And then keep an eye on the RSI. If the RSI makes a lower low and the price isn't lower, then you'll probably get another bounce there, right? That's how markets work. You get bear market rallies, as I explained for a long time right here. Now, one more thing I want to talk about with the weekly RSI. Once it broke over here, I've talked about that all year. That could be the false bottom, which this could, although I don't think it is. Either way, I still think we have a much lower low coming, right? So if it was, you can see the similarities right over here on this side to what's happening right now. So it probably, if it was to play out like that, should not break this high here. We can move this down to the 55 EMA, right? So weekly open and close above 25.4, right? Depending on where the 55 EMA is when and if it gets up above it, right? If we open and close a weekly above there, then I would be able to consider that the bottom is possibly in. Not a guarantee, but in the macro, it gives me a view that maybe the bottom's in. We have not got that yet. We've been talking about this for well over a year. You can check out my video. I'll leave it up top at the end of the video. I made it on December 2nd, 2021, talked about all this happening, talked about how the bear rallies were just to get exit liquidity, right? And that's pretty much all we're seeing, in my opinion. Here's another bubble. This was the Nintendo bubble pop. Let me move this over. As you can see, we had a 65% rally before continuing down to make a lower low. What did we have here? A 65% rally. Here is the Sony bubble pop. We had an 85% rally twice before making lower lows, right? So just to let you guys know that this bubble pop pattern is still in the possibilities big time. This, like I said, when the bubbles pop, they almost always come back down to where they began, right? We began way down at these levels for Bitcoin. FTX and BNB, BNB being on the right. Remember, when we broke this, we came back up. We had rallies here. And what was this rally? Let's take a look at it. Let's just throw a measurement on this one. Right here from that low and up about 20%. Let's see where we're at here. About 20%. So it looks like this is going to be ending soon for BNB. But remember, after that pump, we had, that was on October 6th all the way to the end of October. So we could have another month before this really turns around and goes to the downside, unless we come up and break these highs, right? If that happens, then maybe I'm wrong on the Binance chart, but it's not looking good, guys. Just look at what they're doing with funds right now. All right. Tesla, as you guys know, my Tesla target for September, October, which is when I believe Bitcoin will bottom at the same time, it'll be around 50 to 60 bucks. And I will be looking to get in at these levels September, October-ish, right? Nothing's changed in any of these charts, guys. I made these. This chart is about a year old. Or no, I'm sorry. This chart is, yeah, close, about six or 8 months old. Before we broke this, we made it. We came down, hit our 106, got our rally back up to the 211. I think we'll get down to that 50 to 60 bucks by the end of the year. Gold is getting a little rally here, but in the reality, we already have this count here. We're still looking for 1560. If that holds and continues from there, then it's bullish. But I still think we come down to these levels, and if that breaks, I'm looking for 14. If that breaks, gold is in serious trouble. I've not changed my view. Nothing has changed in the charts to change my view, right? We follow the data in the charts, not the news, not the hopium, not anything but what the charts are showing. And so far, it has done nothing but played us right? So as you can see, RSI is resetting big time here. Not a huge pump. I mean, it may look huge if you're looking at the hourly, right? But nevertheless, our target still remains around that 1562. If that breaks, it could go as low as $7. Sounds impossible, right? I've heard that over and over and over again. But that's what I'm looking at, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget, smash the likes, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, use the links down below because there's a lot of fakes out there. Also, there is a Discord link. Discord's totally free. Go check it out, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.